Babe. Hey, babe. I think people can tell you're not a swimmer.
What do you mean?
You don't really got the form down.
Oh shit. It'd be so cool if that was actually my morning routine, but it's not. My morning routine starts the night before. I go to bed at like 8:39. Sometimes when I'm watching a Netflix series, that's not always the most fun thing, but I made that promise to myself, and I like to practice keeping those promises that I make to myself because I know that long term it'll make me the most happy. And sometimes that's just about forcing my ass to go to bed. And I really wish I could tell you that every single night I read a really good self-development book before I go to bed. But let's be honest, the last 30 minutes I've been scrolling on social media. So good night, you guys. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, I actually have to get up and turn off the lights, the camera, and I don't really sleep with this thing. I just thought it looked good for the camera. So I actually, on a typical day, will naturally just wake up around 4. On some days, that's maybe 3:40. On other days, maybe that's 4:20. But before you freak out and think that's crazy, if you think about it, if you go to bed at 12 a.m., you'll naturally maybe wake up at 7 a.m. and that's 7 hours of sleep for you. And it's really the same. I've just trained my body to go to bed a little earlier and wake up a little earlier. The first thing I do is I grab the closest by comfy shirt that I can find, and then I go to the bathroom. Is this where I'm crossing the line? I'm not really sure. I did kind of warn you. I told you this was my real morning routine. Depending on how lucky I was when I grabbed my shirt, sometimes I'll look like this, but other times I'm more lucky and I look like this. One of the first things I always do when I wake up is tie my hair. I cannot have it all around everywhere on my face. I just cannot. And before I meditate, I have this ritual where I start preparing coffee because then it's ready for when I'm done meditating. And I think it's always good to have a reward when you've done something that, you know, a ritual, something that you do for your overall well-being that isn't necessarily what you always want to do in that moment. Oh yeah, and I always try to remember to charge my Apple Watch, and sometimes I forget and then it dies during my workout, and that's a little bit annoying. And then I sit my ass down. Sometimes I'll find some meditations online, sometimes I'll use some from my own app, and sometimes I'll just follow certain meditation programs, and I try to not look at my phone right when I wake up. I just use it for finding this meditation. Now, do I sometimes forget and accidentally go on Instagram anyway? Absolutely. And sometimes I'm able to get into this incredible state right away, but sometimes my thoughts just cannot shut up and they keep going on and on and on. It kind of depends on how much I have going on in my life. For me, it's really just more about like the ritual of doing it and making the effort of clearing my mind. And it definitely has had huge benefits to my life and my overall well-being and clarity. I then drink a cup of water in my coffee cup. I then pour a cup of coffee, and typically I will spill just like I did this morning. I like to drink my coffee with a little bit of almond milk and a little bit of stevia. Whenever I'm not out, I definitely need to go buy some more. I clean the mess and then I go to journal. Journaling has just really helped me get to know myself better. I really challenge myself with asking myself really challenging things. And sometimes when I'm in the middle of something really deep, the coffee kicks in and then I gotta take a break. But I mean, I told you I'd be honest, so actually I grab my journal and I bring it with me. What I journal on really just depends on the day and what I'm experiencing in my life at the moment. But some of the questions that I ask myself are, how am I coming up with excuses to avoid taking action? I try to resolve anything that I've been struggling with, and I really get into like figuring out what are my true goals and why is it that it's so important for me to actually go full out and go for them, and what is one thing that I can do today that will make me proud of myself, and how am I making choices based on something that I feel like I should do as opposed to something that I want to do. And I do not answer every single one of these questions every morning, but these are just the typical kinds of questions that I will ask myself depending on what it is that I'm going through in that moment and what I need. And that that fires me up for the day, let me tell you. And it really just like uncovers any bullshit that I'm telling myself. And our brains, I think, tend to come up with these beliefs depending on where we grew up, our experiences, that when we uncover those, we are just suddenly opened up to a completely new world. And that's what I'm trying to do every day. Sometimes I go really into depth, and on other days, I just journal like 20 to 30 minutes, which is what I do most mornings right now. When I'm done with journaling, I am ready to go to the gym and move my body. And what I always do when I put on clothes is I pull up some YouTube. And as you can see on my home screen, it's already some Tony Robbins. And even when I let it load, Tony Robbins comes up again. It's because YouTube knows what I want in the morning. It knows so well.
Built up and built up. Imagine 6 weeks with the trash, and dogs are getting into it now.
I then grab a cute little workout outfit, and the socks are not always the same case, as you obviously can see, in which you definitely have been able to tell if you've seen some of my stories on Instagram. I grab my Apple Watch and remember that the pulse for some reason doesn't work as well on the left arm as the right arm, so I switch my arms.
I wish I could tell you that I don't use pre-workout, but sometimes it just makes me feel good, and so I do it. I put in just a little bit. And I don't have my breakfast yet. We wait.
I then put on some pink shoes because I forget that I'm wearing a blue outfit, and then I head on to the gym. Now, if I was a cool YouTuber, I would probably take the elevator today just because that looks prettier, but the truth is I always take the exit stairs because that just gets me quicker to the gym, and it takes me literally, I would say, 45 seconds for me to walk there, so that's kind of nice. My morning routine typically makes me feel so good. Sometimes I have to get into the workout first, and then I like really feel that fire, and that makes me want to share with the world. So often I'll share some experiences, some thoughts, some realizations that I had throughout my morning, and I do that on Instagram.
I've talked about this so many times, but there is just something so incredibly powerful when you do something that feels so uncomfortable in the morning, as in like doing an interval training where you feel like your lungs are exploding, or you do those 1 or 2 last reps when you feel like you have absolutely nothing left. It just leaves you with this feeling of like being unstoppable and being capable of so much more than you think that you are in your mind, and that just shows you and proves to you that you really truly are capable of the things that you don't think you're capable of. And I just think that also obviously the adrenaline kicks in, and it just makes you feel so freaking incredible in the morning.
I did this on my own. You asking where we been?
What I do in my workouts vary from day to day, and if you have any specific topics or things that you want me to share with you in future videos, then please let me know below. And also, you can check out my previous vlogs where I share some of my workouts. The only thing that's for absolutely sure is that my face at some point during my workout looks like this. I wish I could tell you that I stretch after my workouts every single time, and I definitely do try my best, but sometimes I get a little too excited to create my TikTok/reel of the day, and this is typically the time where, you know, it's getting brighter out and people are coming into the gym, and so I usually just, you know, make a little bit of a fool of myself.
And now you may be thinking, is it time for her skin routine now? I don't have one. I gotta be completely honest. I'm sorry if I'm letting you down. I think everything in life comes down to priorities, and what we prioritize is what we have time for, right? I've just never prioritized that. I'm open to growing, open to learning. I think everything is like one little step at a time. Maybe a skin routine should be my next step. Let me know if you feel like I've disappointed you, because I'm sorry if that's the case.
On the days where I have something going on, where I have to look presentable, then I put on makeup, but I didn't have anything like that today.
When I come home, usually Brock is up.
That's right.
That's right. He's all fresh and ready for the day.
Super fresh.
Super fresh. Brock trains later in the day, and I like to train in the morning. So we don't often train together. When we first met, I would train with you in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then I got psycho. What do you feel about my morning routine? Do you think I'm psycho?
Yes.
But you also kind of love it.
But you're my psycho.
When I'm out of the shower, it is time for breakfast. Today we got eggs and some shell on the menu.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa!
My breakfast really varies from day to day. If you want to see what I eat in a day, please let me know in the comments below because I love making those.
Oh, I'm not the only one who spills.
But for now, let's just enjoy this incredible B-roll that Brock put together. About 6 months ago or so, I started making a to-do list in the morning. I either do it like right after journaling, sometimes I'll do it after the gym or after I've had my breakfast. It kind of depends. It just really helps me because it's so easy to procrastinate, especially because my job involves a lot of social media. So when I like have to go post 5 different posts, then it can be super easy to be like sidetracked from all the things that actually need to get done. And so having a to-do list just really helps me with that, and I write out a time for every single thing that I have to do, and sometimes it takes a lot longer and I have to do it the day after, and sometimes it is a lot easier than I think. It's just easy, quick, done, and then I just check it off every single time that I've done a task. I don't always do this. I try to have at least one day a week where I don't have a to-do list because I'm like always in my mind, I'm like thinking of new things I can create because I just am so passionate about what I do. But sometimes it's good to, you know, let the mind relax as well. When did you come home yesterday?
8:30
8:30?
last night.
That just shows I was asleep. When I first started my morning routine, I started out just with meditating, and then I added in journaling, and then I added in getting really uncomfortable with this morning sprint that I would do at the time in the morning, and that's when I started getting up early. And I think that if I'd started with everything all at once, it would have been way too much for me, and I probably would have just thrown it all away. And I think that that's what happens to a lot of us. We set all of these goals and all of these intentions and we do it all at once, and then because it just becomes way too overwhelming, we end up not creating long-lasting habits. It's like 1, 2, 3 weeks that it lasts, and then because it's just so much at once, it all crashes. But if we just take one little thing at a time. I've had this morning routine for quite a while now, and it's really worked out for me, but that doesn't mean that I like stick to it every single day throughout the 365 years, 365 days out of the year. Like sometimes every few months there's a week where I can sleep in a little longer, and I use that. I think that we gotta listen to our bodies. I think that sometimes I need that, and sometimes I'll maybe take a little bit of a later dance class, and that makes me sleep in sometimes a little bit longer. The only thing that is like absolutely non-negotiable for me is my morning meditation and journaling. Like I always do that, at least 1 page of journaling, at least 10 minutes of meditation, because that's just something that I have decided to stick to. I know I'll always get my workout in at some point, or like sometimes it's good for me to have a rest day. I think it's important for me to remember, and anyone out there who's trying to build routines, that they're supposed to bring value into our life. They're supposed to make our life better. And so for me, my morning routine does make my life better, so I stick to it for a majority, I would say 90-something% of my days. But if there's something that is better for me on a given day, in a given situation, then I'll always choose my well-being over my morning routine, because really my well-being is the reason I'm doing my morning routine. And this is how I feel now, and I am constantly changing. At least I'm trying to always develop myself and get better and like grow into who I'm truly meant to be and who I am to my deeper core. So I feel like I'm constantly changing, and this is what works for me right now. Maybe in a month, who knows, something will change and I'll build a new routine that I suddenly realize works better for me at that time. And I think that's the beauty of life. We continue to grow, we continue to experience, and hopefully we're always just trying to do our best at that given moment that we're in. And I think the most important thing, but the hardest part, is being honest about what we need, because I know with myself, I can come up with a million excuses if there's something I'm either fearful of or something that I'm a little bit like wanting to be lazy about. We just gotta keep ourselves accountable for the things that we are lacking. And I think it's just one step at a time, like anything else in life, right? Thank you so much for watching this video of my morning routine. I hope you liked it, and I hope you like this type of video, because I would love to create a lot more like this. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see more of. Please give me a thumbs up if you did like it. That will also let me know that I should create more. And I hope that you have a beautiful day. I will see you very soon. Bye.
I think we nailed it.